Hello, and welcome back to Uncultured Twenties. My name is Julia.
And my name is Liam.
And this podcast is a journey of us culturally educating ourselves in what is considered classic in pop culture. Think, media that people would say, you've never seen that?
Yeah, any films, albums, books, music videos, you name it. We go over our initial impressions and why we think it's made its way into the cultural canon.
Films like Kill Bill or Sound of Music.
Or albums like Oracular Spectacular and The Pink Print.
Or even books. We're always open to suggestions, so keep up with us at Uncultured Twenties on Instagram and TikTok. We're also on Letterboxd at Uncultured Twenties. That's Uncultured20s.
Today, we're exploring Brand New Eyes by pop-punk classic Paramore.
And it involves a very special field trip. Uncultured 20s. So, we recently went to a very special event.
Yes, so I got tickets to see Paramore a while ago. It actually was kind of a struggle. They went on tour pretty recently before this tour. I think they came to Toronto in November-ish, and I was trying so hard to get those tickets, and I didn't get them. So then when they announced they were coming in, I'm like, okay, I gotta get them. And the tickets were so expensive.
Yeah.
And Liv was originally going to come with me. If you don't know who Liv is, you're going to have to check out our episode 3, Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
But then an artist that they really liked announced a show on the same night. So Liv was like, actually, I'm going to go to that one. So Julie ended up coming with me instead.
Yes. I did not mind taking the ticket off of Liv's hands. And I do think that they had a very good time seeing Nabaha Iqbal. So
yeah, it apparently was really good. It was like a super intimate show. So very different ends of the spectrum. Like
very opposite.
We were at
to Paramore.
Yeah, we were at a giant stadium show. They were at this they're at the Baby G in Toronto, which I've played. A little shout out to my band.
Very nice.
Thank you, Julia, for saving me from wasting a ticket.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes. Oh my God. They were literal nosebleeds and still so expensive, but I do think it was worth it. I literally had so much fun. I had so much fun dusting off our 2000s punk fits and winging our eyeliner and also just being around these fellow elder emo.
Yeah, the elder emo. I love that.
Yeah, it was really just so many people trying to relive their youth, us included. I mean, I saw a ton of people that I knew from high school as well.
So weird.
So it was just, and even looking at people's stories afterwards, I was like, wow, there's so many people that I knew that were here.
Mm-hmm,
and I think it also just speaks to how big Paramore is and how influential Paramore is. I went to this treats store near my place the day after, and they were playing Paramore on the speakers, and I asked the girl, I was like, were you at the show last night? And she's like, yeah, I was. I was like, oh my God, no way. So I think it's awesome how widespread they are, because I think it's just super nostalgic for everyone. Mm-hmm. And when they go on tour, they're like, okay, yes, it's finally my chance to see them. I think there's a group of people who are maybe a little too young to go see them in their prime, and then now they're like, okay, I have some money.
Yeah.
I have a free night.
For real,
Let's go to Paramore.
Yeah, I think I was 8 or 9 when their first album came out, so definitely was not able to go first time around.
I don't want to state any incorrect facts as I have in the past, so let me just do some fact checking. Paramore first album. Well, I know, so we're talking about Brand New Eyes today, and that came out in 2009, and that's their third album.
Yeah, I don't know their first album very well. I know Riot was when I started listening. I feel like.
Riot was their big release, so that was 2007.
Okay, so I was 8.
Yeah, and their first album was 2005, so they've been around for, a long time. Mm-hmm. All we know is Falling. There's a few good ones on there. Emergency, Pressure, Conspiracy, but it's just Riot is what put them on the map 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I love when bands like that, I don't know, in a way I feel kind of bad when they tour with a new album and I'm cool, but I'm also not really here for your new album. But there are some good ones on the new album too, so I don't mind. But yeah, it's definitely I mean, it was a lot of elder emos, as you said. Didn't see a lot of like, I don't know. Except there was two girls in front of us who every time the new album songs would come on, they would like stand up and like be screaming and bopping, and then they would like sit down for like, that's what you get. And I was like, what are you doing?
You know, yeah, that was interesting. It's hard because like touring with the new music, it's like to promote the new music because it only just came out however many months ago. So you can't really expect anyone to know the songs that have only been out for a few months. Yeah. And like I also feel bad. I'm like, okay, people are just here for the same song that you've been playing for 15 years. But
yeah. But I guess it means it's a good one if you're still going.
I'm just so curious what that feels like to just, you know, like no matter what you write, people are always gonna want something else.
That one hit.
Yeah.
Or those few hits from before. But they have staying power. I guess that's what I'll say.
If that's what brings them to the shows, and then, you know, maybe then they'll hear the new music and get into that. I think a lot of times I've gone to shows and I, like, especially when I didn't know the artist super well, I was just going with a friend or whatever, and then I hear a few, and then I get into it after the concert because I liked the concert so much. So, yeah. One of the other highlights about the concert, I think I completely forgot. I remember seeing it when I got the tickets, but I had just forgotten because it had been so long. But Block Party also opened for Paramore. And that was cherry on top because Block Party is just one of those bands that I love. I love, is it Silent Alarm? I love Silent Alarm.
Yep.
Like Eating Glass by them is one of my favorite songs of all time, and they're like this British band, and the vocalist has such a unique sound, and it was so much fun to see them play live. I wanted to be in the pit so badly when they were playing because it's just so hard. Like I could just be thrashing around to the music. It's definitely just like you want to bop and bop and bop when you listen to it.
Right, this next song to one to is not for any wimps.
His performance presence was so good. Like he kept like doing that thing with his eyes, like popping them out and
like opening super wide.
Yeah, like making him look a little cray cray, and like it was so good. I loved it.
As we're going in, Leanne's like, I think I might be more excited for Block Party.
I was.
I'm like,
yeah,
great.
well, because Block Party
didn't even remember they were playing until today.
Block Party is not like a band, I feel like, that tours around very much, and maybe it's just because Paramore's been touring around forever that I'm like, oh, I could go see them again or something. But Block Party, I feel, I don't know, they were big. They're maybe a bit smaller now. So, I don't know.
Well, it's great when the opening band is one that you know and love, because I feel like so often it's like smaller artists, which is great, and I love like learning new music and stuff, but it is exciting when you're like, oh my gosh, wait, I actually know this band and I actually love their music.
Yeah, it's like it's just like seeing a triple bill or whatever. Like it's just one after the other. So it was awesome. And the show was like pretty much right on time as well, which was nice.
Yeah, it was like 8:59. Paramore's coming out on the stage. I was like, great, I'm gonna go to bed at a decent-ish time.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're playing for 2 hours, and then right at 11 they finished. It was like, whoa, this is on time.
They're on it. They've done it many times now. They've practiced.
We're used to going to like these like little shows where everything is
smaller
like
shows where
delayed and stuff.
Everyone's going on at like 10 o'clock or like 10:30. I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta drive home from Toronto.
It's so exciting to be able to put this show on for you. Thank you all for being here. I'm sure there's a billion other things you could have done, but you chose to be with us, and we love you for that.
For a little background on Paramore, the current members of the band are lead singer Hayley Williams, Zach Farrow, and Taylor York. They have switched up members a few times, which we will talk about in a little bit.
Paramore is from Tennessee, and the band members were really, really young when they formed. Hayley had been signed as a solo artist, and then she brought the band in because she didn't want to be a quote-unquote top 40s pop princess that Atlantic, the label, wanted her to be.
That is such like a young emo thing to say. Like, I feel like Avril Lavigne did the same thing too, where she's like, I don't want to be this like cookie cutter like pop girl, which is so funny. I just love that all the like emo ladies of the time were doing this.
I don't like being labeled. I'm a human. I don't like, Avril Lavigne, skater punk, and it's like, First of all, punk is a very serious word. Punk is like hardcore.
Yeah, they're like, I feel, the label probably comes in with a whole like mood board and inspo, and they're like, you're going to do this. This is going to be your brand, like blah, blah, blah. No. And then these girls like, no, I'm going to be a skater boy.
So the band has released 6 studio albums, with Riot and Brand New Eyes being their top 2 charting albums. Paramore has won Grammys, been certified platinum, and gone on multiple world tours, one of which we just went to.
One of the highlights of the show is when they played The Only Exception, which is the 6th track off the album that we're talking about today.
Hayley's introduction to the song was very insightful to the context of Brand New Eyes. Take a listen here.
Those of you who have been growing up with us all this time, you would know this is a very tumultuous time. We almost broke up 17 times, and it was basically this was our rumors. I don't know, like it was just a tense album. But then also on top of that, because we love to contradict ourselves, we put a love song, like our first ballad ever, right in the smack dab middle of this album. So if you don't mind us bypassing some of the tension and just getting straight to the love song, can we do that together?
Yeah, Rumors is definitely another album we need to cover at some point, but for those who are not super familiar with Fleetwood Mac, it was a record written while all the members were like breaking up with each other, cheating, fighting. It's just so drama fueled, and then this like amazing record came out of it.
Beautiful album, yeah. We need some drama with bands instead, and ends up making good music.
Yeah.
So this is like decades-old drama, but basically after Brand New Eyes came out, 2 of the founding members, Zach and Josh Farah, left the band. Josh and Hayley had dated and co-wrote most of the songs on Brand New Eyes, so it's safe to say the whole album is pretty much about their relationship.
Yeah, and Zach and Josh are brothers, and they made a blog post about their departure in 2010, basically saying that Hayley was like this industry plant and the band didn't have any control. They were just sort of in the background. It was all about her. And they also cited religious differences and saying Hayley was getting too dark and she wasn't properly portraying the Bible. Like they literally
religious twist.
Yep. They brought in like some Bible quotes in there. I was like, oh, okay. And I think the more we're going to be talking about this, the more we're going to realize that Paramore is like low-key a religious band, like a Christian rock band.
That is so funny. I did not even consider that for a second, but okay, interesting. Years later, we now know that the main reason they broke up was because Josh is homophobic. Zach has since rejoined the band and made a public statement supporting the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into there, and I don't think we need to get into it, but basically, you can go, the blog post is still up there. We can link it if you're that interested. It's an interesting read. And originally reading it, because I remember reading it years ago and thinking, like, maybe Hayley is this, like, industry plant, but then when I was reading more about it, it was literally because Josh is homophobic.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so Zach was on stage playing, and he also played some of his own music, and he's like said that he supports the queer community. So I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, I was gonna say always like a weird thing for me when like a pop punk or punk band is religious. Like I don't know why, but that's just like so contrary to like everything I feel like I know. Like, I don't know. I was a Catholic schoolgirl. We went to church with the hymns.
I mean, and now you're punk, so maybe you can explain
I was always punk. Yeah, well, that's another story. But yeah, like, I'm just like, I don't know. I guess maybe I haven't really looked deep into the lyrics or the context of their songs. But even in like Riot, even in Misery Business, I'm like, okay, like you're down with this as a Christian.
Yeah, well, I think if we look at some of the lyrics today, it will definitely, I think, unveil the Christianity behind this. But honestly, I think, since Josh left the band, their vibe has changed completely. All their new stuff is so so pop-ish.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hailey does have a giant cross tattooed on her leg.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that.
so do a lot of people.
Yeah, but it was big. That thing massive. Like, that's just a straight up cross.
Oh, God. That's awesome.
And Hailey's now actually dating one of the other, like, OG Paramore musicians, Taylor York, who's the guitarist. So it really seems like she finds love with who she plays with. And it also fuels the band's music, in a way.
Right. That is, that's an interesting choice. I mean, I guess you can't choose who you love, but
yeah.
Damn,
I
that's
know,
risky.
I know.
Like...
Well, they've been dating for a little while now, and they kept it under wraps for quite a bit until she actually confirmed it during a show. The whole band met when they were really, really young, and I'm not going to say how because it's going to be part of our pop quiz.
Oh.
But Taylor was in a band with Zach and Josh before Hailey joined.
Okay.
And they had the whole thing going on. And then Hailey came in, the whole band, and then she was with the label, and then... basically the label didn't want Taylor. The label had all this, stuff they wanted to change about the band, which is also another thing that sort of led to Josh and Zach leaving. Then later they brought Taylor on during the early years. So it's kind of like interesting because she knew Josh a long time and they dated, and then she knew Taylor a long time and like they're really close friends. So I'm like, that's a lot.
I guess if you're around people, the same people all the time, maybe that leads to things, but I mean, the band name is a homophone for secret lover, so
there you go. It was inevitable just because of the name.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with Careful, which is the first track of the album, and this is the song where Josh was against the lyrics.
Okay.
So he called them ungodly, I think. I don't know if he did. Maybe I just made that up. But basically, the lyric in the song is, "The truth never set me free," which contradicts what the Bible says in John 8:32, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free."
Oh, some Bible research today.
I did my research.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny.
Like, this whole song basically encapsulates the reasons why Josh left.
Gosh, that is so funny.
Which is kind of embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Also, weren't they, kind of successful at this point? Because, Riot and everything?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, you want to stick to your beliefs, I guess. But, because she said the truth will not set you free, that just seems so silly to me. I don't know.
I know. And, well, a lot about this record was, they felt a lot of pressure coming off of Riot because it was so successful. Playing God, which is, I think, the third track on the album. I mean, it's literally called Playing God, but it's one of my favorites from the album.
It's a good one, yeah.
It's so good. And the guitar in the beginning is, really nostalgic sounding, and the whole song is about hypocritical Christians. So it's okay. It almost feels like the album is them, going back and forth. She's talking about Christians, pointing finger at people, and, they're not, looking at themselves. So it's... I think it's wild just, knowing the context and thinking, she's probably just writing shitty things about him, and he's, throwing some religious imagery in there and, playing the guitar, super just spiritually. I love you,
angry
Jesus.
guitar playing at her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah.
I know. And the harmonizing at the end is also, really amazing. And this song is followed by Brick by Boring Brick, which is just banger after banger.
This is a good one. Yeah. Good album.
Yeah, I think this was actually the first Paramore song that I ever listened to.
Oh, really?
Because I remember, I think I remember the exact day. I was probably 11, and I was on YouTube, and I was okay, I want to be seen.
You're this is the beginning of my scene journey.
Yeah, I was because I remember reading a book that had Panic at the Disco in it, and I was okay, I need to listen to this band because it sounds really cool. So I remember going on YouTube and I watched I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, and I was like, it's okay. And I listened to another song by them. It was like Mona Lisa, I think.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I went back and I watched like all their videos and, you know, instantly became hooked. And then while I was on that like journey, I came across Paramore. And I think this is just the music. I remember watching this music video for the first time. And honestly, all the music videos for like Riot and for Brand New Eyes, the quality is so bad on YouTube.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh.
It's like 380p.
Yeah, like I'm like, I know it was like, you know, it was from back in the day, but like I've seen better music videos from that time.
I know. I'm sure there's better copies somewhere, but it's kind of wild to watch these videos on YouTube now, and it says uploaded like 16 years ago.
I know.
I'm like, holy
I'm like, when?
Like YouTube's
How
been
old am I?
around for that long.
Yeah, for real.
I know. But Brick by Born Brick, just so good. It was like, yeah, that's a good
I feel
one.
like I was in the same path. Mine was Avril Lavigne to Paramore, where it was like I was clicking through all the Avril Lavigne videos, and I think That's What You Get was the first one that I saw. And again, even the video itself, I'm like, this is so goofy. Like,
and the Misery Business one too is like,
oh my god, she like takes out her silicone like bra fillers or whatever.
Does she like take
at the
take
end?
her hair,
like
rip a wig off or something? Like,
yeah, like it's all just, and then the makeup, like take the makeup all off too. It's funny to watch those videos. I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, I know it's not part of the album, but Misery Business is like that's their breakout song, and they didn't perform it for a few years because of like the misogyny behind it. And when they perform the song now, they actually don't do the like line, which is like, once a whore, you're nothing more. But people sing it anyway.
Yeah, I think when we were there, she just like didn't sing, and then everyone in the crowd's like, "What's a whore, nothing more."
Yeah, pretty much.
Toronto, do you want to hear where it kind of almost began? You want to go back there a little bit? Shall we be just a little nostalgic tonight? Well, all right. I won't talk anymore. Let's go.
And I think they try to twist the song like in a more positive note. So for Misery Business, I think every show they bring on a fan. So when we were watching, they brought on this girl. I think she's from Brazil or like.
I think she was from Mexico.
Yeah. She was like traveled. She came to all
she's
the
like,
shows.
this is like my 4th show or something.
Her name
I
was
was like, oh my god.
She was so sweet.
Yes. Shout out Stefania. Great job.
Oh my god, when I was at the bakery getting the treats, the girl was like, "Yeah, Stefania." I was like, "Yeah, like, Stefania."
Gosh, she's an icon for us
I
now.
know. And they also brought someone on to play guitar too, and I was like up there in the 300s like, "I know how to play the drums for this song. Let me play."
That is like, bringing someone to sing is like one thing, because like whatever, they scream, they do, it doesn't matter, but like that is bold to bring somebody to play guitar. Do you think they just turn the guitar all the way down and they're like, okay, have fun?
Maybe. I don't know. When I saw The Killers, they also brought someone on to play guitar.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I would be like, yeah, I play guitar, and then I'd go and I'd be like, oh my god what have I done?
I know. I'm like, what if you just choose someone and they don't actually, and then it's just like
I'll just be like, this is my wicked guitar solo, everybody, just hold, and it's all just like random notes. I don't know.
But you know what, I think they're good enough that they don't need.
It doesn't really.
It doesn't
it's
really
just
matter.
for fun. It's like whatever. Yeah. Amazing
it's so
track.
good.
We
And
love that one.
I was reading the reviews for this album, and a lot of critics were like, it slows down the album, doesn't make sense.
Girl,
Like,
don't even talk to me about
this is
that.
like the best love song of all time.
Yes.
Even though, like, now I'm like, okay, I don't like the couple that it's about.
True.
But it's...
In retrospect.
Yeah, it was so good. Like, when they were performing it, everybody's, like, flashlights came out, I brought my lighter out because I'm cool.
Yeah, old school like that.
We're all waving around. I was like, damn, this is beautiful. I recorded the song. I ended up just recording the whole thing. Like, I have a 4-minute recording because I was like, I just can't end it. It's so beautiful.
Like, it's so good. I know. I think I recorded the beginning and then I was like, oh, but what about that part when she starts like, I got a tight grip on reality.
Yes.
I'm like, I gotta get that one too.
It's, yeah, it was so good. And it does have a tone shift in the album, but it's kind of nice. It doesn't need to be so like heavy and so rock all the time. I think it really shows their like the variety.
I think the first time I heard that song, I think I had it wrong originally. I think the first time I heard it was on Glee.
Oh my god!
And like
of
Lea
course
Michele was
Lea
singing.
Michele.
I was like, wow, this is kind of a banger. I was like, what the heck? But then, of course, I think the original version is, of course, much better. But I recognize it as a good one, even with Lea Michele singing it. So
Yeah, I mean, Lea Michele's a good singer.
she's okay. She's kind of annoying. I don't know. Her voice is a little annoying.
Yeah. I do love the whole, like, lore with her not being able to read, though. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
we'll have to talk about this. Like, we have to do a Glee episode for sure. But Lea Michele just not being able to read is, like, the best meme.
What's your take? Do you think she can read? Because I'm not convinced.
No. Girl can't read. She was born on Broadway. She was fed lines, and all she knows is how to memorize everything. Like, I am like the biggest conspiracy theorist. I will believe that shit.
So good.
So after The Only Exception, it is Feeling Sorry, and I kind of discovered this one from re-listening. I hadn't really known this song before we did this episode, but it really like eases us back into the rock feel, but it also like takes the emotional vulnerability from The Only Exception. So I thought it was a really nice track, and I think I'll be adding that one to my rotation a little bit more.
Yeah, I hadn't heard this one before, so it was a good one.
Yeah. I think she referenced Looking Up, which is the next track in the show, because one of the lyrics is, God knows the world doesn't need another band. And I'm like, we need you, Paramore. Please don't ever leave.
Yeah.
And it basically, the whole song was like alluding to the band almost breaking up. And it's talking about like, can't believe we almost like didn't, I don't remember the lyrics, but it was like, can't believe we almost didn't make it. Like,
Yeah. Like, and I was like gonna give up and whatever. Yeah, this one and where the lines overlap were both just very like
super self-aware.
I'm so lucky to be in a band, and like, why did we almost not do this? And yeah, so definitely a change from the like tension that this whole album is rooted in. It's like, oh, why would we ever not be a band?
Yeah, like when we got to where the lines overlap is sort of when I started to feel a little tired of the album, where I was like, okay, this song sounds super similar to like the other ones on the track.
Yeah.
Like that's when I started being like, okay, like I get it. Like
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's a few other songs that we probably skipped, but I just want to go all the way to, or did you want to go to?
Actually, Misguided Ghosts was like my jam for some reason. It's like just like literally the most like mellow guitar ballad ever. But in like first year of university, I think it came up on my Spotify radio, and I just didn't even connect that it was like from this album or Paramore or anything. But I was like, oh my God, like I was in like my sad girl era. So I was like, this is like, I'm just going to like lie in bed and like listen to this song and just like be emo. And then I think before the concert, when I was like just like listening to Paramore again, like just going through the albums, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I didn't even connect that this was like a Paramore song. I was like, oh my gosh, this was my jam. And I haven't listened to it in like a couple of years probably at this point. So I was like, wow, throwback. But
I love how that, like, you know, different, especially when it's just, you know, album tracks, they don't really get pushed.
And it's like it's probably not like a popular one on, I mean, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but like just like a random track from the album.
Yeah, I like how different random ones connect with different people, though. It's nice because I feel like sometimes on albums, it's just like single, other songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then we finish off with a masterpiece, All I Wanted.
My favorite one.
I'm so sad they didn't play it.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I don't think she performs it live very often because she can't hit that note. I'm pretty sure, like, I was watching an interview and she said that in the studio it took like a ton of tries just to hit that note.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I think when she's performing it live, like at Coachella or something, and she hit the note. So I assume, she's playing every single night. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, it's probably a lot if you're going, like, if you're touring and doing it all the time. And then it's like, what if you don't hit it? Like, can you imagine?
I think sometimes she performs it without going up, like she goes down.
Yeah.
But man, this song is such a masterpiece. It's like such a way to end the album. It was like, I think, my second most listened to song last year.
Oh, nice.
The top one being like an ASMR video that I fall asleep to. So it really was like my top song.
I guess it was the top one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this song is so good. I don't even know what to say. I love this song.
It also just reminds me, because this is like right when Paramore was doing Twilight, and I think you can really hear the like Twilight vibe impact over a bunch of these songs as well. And it just like, I'm a big Twihard. We will be doing like all 5 movies, guaranteed.
Oh, the Twilight movies.
You just wait. Y'all just wait. So I just,
yes,
so good. Like Twilight is the reason why I was like, okay, I need to go see it.
Maybe as we've seen, the tension, like Rumors-esque, really does fuel good records. So I'm like, I don't want my favorite bands to break up, but also like maybe you just get to the verge of it so that you make really good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm kind of okay with like the homophobe leaving.
That is true, yeah. In that case, go ahead. As long as the band, like, I guess maybe I'm just like, I like Hayley Williams' voice too, so I'm like, as long as she continues on.
Yeah, her singing skills, and I mean, like, honestly, when you think of Paramore, you do think of Hayley Williams. Like, she's such a strong front woman. I would say she was like the most prominent female-fronted band for a time. Like, Hayley Williams was everywhere. She's even started like her own hair dye company.
Oh my gosh.
She, like, I think she really contributed to pop punk, and especially like watching interviews with her just talking about how it's just guys everywhere in the pop punk scene in the early 2000s. Like, Paramore was one of the bands that girls could look up to, which was really cool.
Give me something to sing along to. That's all I want. I just want a good song to sing along to. Female singer, amazing, beautiful.
I know, and Paramore, like, is one of my band's biggest influences as well. Like, we've covered When It Rains, and I think they're so influential in general. And I was watching one of the music videos, and there's this comment that I just had to read out. It's by Allison Lee 333, and she says, Paramore is the phase that you never grow out of. And I think that's just like the perfect way to describe the album.
So true, bro.
Listening back, I'm like, I'm in my angst again. I'm in my feelings again.
Yeah.
And her emotion, like, when she sings, is just so strong.
She's such a performer too. Like, also just like dancing the whole night, and I'm like, how are you not exhausted? Like, and how are you still singing and like not like missing those notes? Like, I'll be like singing as I'm like walking down the stairs, and by the time I get there, I'm like, like, I can't even do this. Like, it sounds so stupid now.
And she's like a tiny person, like, not just because we are so far away, but you can tell she's like super small. Yeah. And she's just dancing all over the stage. She commands that stage presence. Like, she's a really amazing performer, and I honestly am so glad that we got to see her, because I feel like in 20 years, we'll be like, yeah, like, we saw Hayley Williams.
Yeah.
We saw Paramore. For
sure. And sometimes, like, not something I thought I would say that I've seen, because, like, you know, I liked their music when I was, like, 8 or 9. So I wasn't really going to big concerts back then, but
it's so nice to, like, realize. I feel like that's what I'm doing a lot these past few years, is just realizing those childhood dreams of mine, and actually having the ability to, like, do what I want and fulfill them is really nice.
Pop quiz, we are gonna test each other and you.
I will be asking the questions today, and Julia will be guessing the answers. Are we ready?
Yes, here we go.
Okay, first question. Where did Hayley meet Josh and Zach? A, summer band camp. B, a homeschool kids meetup. Or C, church choir.
I want to say, I don't even know. I'm just gonna guess summer band camp because it sounds like camp rock vibes to me. Oh.
They met up at like a homeschool kids meetup.
Oh my god.
It was like a
Awesome.
supplementary program to socialize homeschool kids.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that they met up.
Yeah, and I mean,
Glad
Josh
that
and
it
Zach
happened.
are like 2 of 5 siblings, so I feel like it
Oh
was
wow.
probably religious based as well. And I mean, they
Yeah.
are in Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, true. Oh my god, homeschooled in Tennessee with your Christian family.
That's the angst. Like, this is the fuel right here.
Yes. I can see it now.
So, how old was Haley when she first signed as a solo artist? A, 12, B, 14, or C, 16?
I want to say 14. I'm going to say 14. Yay!
Yes, you're right. So she was actually 12 when she started
Oh, wow.
playing with Josh and Zach, but she was 14 when she got signed, like by herself
Nice.
to Atlantic.
So young.
I know. I mean, she's literally been writing this music for like her whole life.
Like
pretty
when I was
much.
14, I was like wearing my like Aeropostale shirt and like my plaid shorts,
When I was 14, I was like making.
begging for a scene haircut.
Oh, I know. I dyed the under part of my hair purple.
Oh yes, I dip dyed my hair with
Ooh,
Kool-Aid.
Very cool.
So.
Very cool.
Which it's coming back, the black tips on the ends of like blonder hair. And I'm like, I did that when I was like 13, 14. So
You know what I want, honestly, is like chunky highlights. Like,
yeah, true.
so badly. I think I might just get clip-ins because I don't want to dye my hair.
Yeah.
but
I think it would look good.
Thank you. And finally, what song of theirs is featured on Rock Band 1?
Oh my God.
And I know, and you and I are Rock Band and Guitar Hero connoisseurs, and there's a lot of songs
Literally.
on there, but this is specifically for
God.
Rock Band 1.
Yeah.
A, Crush, Crush, Crush. B, Emergency. Or C, Misery Business.
Oh my gosh. If only it was Rock Band 2, because I know that that's what she gets on Rock Band 2, because that is the first song that I ever played on Expert on guitar. So, this is a little embarrassing if I get this wrong. I'm going to say Emergency. No! Oh, I started in at Rock Band 2, okay? Rock Band 1 I'm returning to.
Okay, so the answer is actually A, Crush, Crush, Crush.
Okay, dang it.
When I was reading the like section with all the video games, she's been in like all these different games. Like Hayley Williams is a playable character in a bunch
Oh my
of them. Bring back Rock Band. Like Julie and I went to a bar a few weeks ago. We played Rock Band.
Yeah.
We played Freak on a Leash by Korn, and we killed it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got the Rock Band gear in my basement from like PlayStation 2, and one of the guitars just like almost stopped working, and I was like, oh my God, if it stops working, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Literally one of the best weekends of my life was when I came over to your house and we just played Rock Band for 3 days straight. Like, literally, we woke up, went to the basement, and just played Rock Band for like 8 hours. It was so much fun.
It's always my party trick too. If anybody's like, if people come over, I'm just like, so like, you want to play Rock Band?
You guys have the best working Rock Band. Like, I've been to other houses where there's like, you know, Wii setups, and I mean, we have a Wii, but our Wii is like so messed up. And yours is still
Yeah.
like functioning, and like you can still play it. I'm like, yes.
I know. I'm scared. My instruments are dying. Our drums, we've been through 2 sets now, and one of them is like pretty much broken. So if anybody has any Rock Band gear for PlayStation 2 or 3, this is an open call. I will pay you money. I don't want to lose this. So, how are you categorizing Brand New Eyes? Are you joining the cult? Adding it to the list? Or hiding the fans are after me?
I love them. I think this album is a masterclass. I think
Yes.
it's so good and so influential,
Yeah.
and I think it deserves
Big
to
fan
be
over here.
part of the canon. What about you?
I want to say joining the cult of Paramore. In terms of like Paramore albums, I feel like I'm more of like a highlights kind of gal. So like I'll like make a playlist with all the songs that I love versus like going back and listening. Because like I don't know, I guess some songs I can skip, but I guess I feel that way with any album. So I would say joining the cult. I mean, this was a pretty good album. It had a lot of really good hits. And ending with All I Wanted, what can I say? Okay.
What can I say?
What can I say?
We've been doing music episodes by album, and it's hard because even with like Rihanna, like there's so many songs not all on the album that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe next time we could even do a highlights of an artist instead of an album.
Greatest hits. Yeah.
Brand New Eyes, I think, like just listening to it, I was like, yeah, I think this is my favorite album of theirs just by the whole list and like the flow. And I don't know why, I just have a thing for religious rock music. Like it's actually kind of weird because I have no religious like upbringing, no religious trauma, like no angst in that regard. I just like Flyleaf, Evanescence, like all of these bands I love. And I'm like, I can feel you all around me. And I'm like, God, like...
God, are you there?
I don't know, but the song's a banger, so...
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. That's such a specific... We love the Christian rock.
I think I saw this TikTok where it was
God.
This girl was raised Christian, and she's like, I used to think... like every time I went to church, I would like feel God through me when I listened to the choir and the rock bands. But then it turns out I just liked live music, and this was my only time I got to see live music. And she thought it was God.
Oh my God. She's like, it's God. Oh, that's so good. I was singing in church back in the day.
You were. I know
Hell
you
yeah.
were.
Got paid $30 a mass. Thank you very much.
I think that's it from us, unless we have any other religious revelations.
Revelations. Yeah, no, that's good for me.
You can connect with us on Letterboxd at Uncultured Twenties with a 20s to see all the films we've covered, or go to our Spotify and we have some playlists on there, like our faves and also albums that we've covered at Uncultured Twenties with a TWENTIES.
We are also on Instagram at Uncultured Twenties with the TWENTIES. We take lots of input on there, so if you feel like there's something really iconic that we just have to cover, then that's where you gotta go.
Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts so that you're notified when our episodes drop. We're on all major platforms, but on Spotify we do have polls that you can vote on, so go check them out. We're gonna have one today. And yeah, I think that's it from us.
We're Uncultured Twenties, and we'll see you on the airwaves.
Bye.
Bye.
Uncultured 20s.